I want to show you new functionality in Dynamics GP 2016 that allows you to include projects and cost categories in purchase requisitions. So let's go to the purchase requisition. This is the purchase requisition entry form. So here I'm going to enter information about my requisition, things I want to purchase for my projects, and then I'm going to submit it to workflow. So let's get started. Let's go enter a description, and I'm going to enter a ship to address. So now I can enter lines that I want to include on my requisition. I'm going to enter some inventory items, and I'm going to enter some general supplies. So the first thing I want to do is look up my project number. I'll select this one here. And within that, there's a number of cost categories. I'll take a look at the one I want. I'm going to purchase inventory items first. These are items that are going to come from my inventory, go into a project, but first I need to purchase them from a vendor. I'll look up the item number. I'm looking up numbers that have already been assigned to this particular project. I'll select this first one here, and then the quantity. I'm going to select the ship to site, and the vendor will fill in with the most recent vendor at the best price. So here, this is a Canadian vendor. I'm going to be paying this in Canadian dollars. You can see that it automatically sets that up for me. Let's enter another line. I'll hit next. Let's go to the same project. But this time, I'm going to purchase just regular supplies. These are items that are not in my item master file. Here I'm going to select another vendor. So on this requisition, I have two vendors from whom I'm going to be purchasing items. So that should do it. We can take a look at both lines by condensing this. See here, I've got two items to the same project. I've got two different cost categories. I've got two different vendors here with two different currencies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this for approval through a workflow mechanism within Dynamics GP. I'll hit submit. There's three ways I can approve this requisition. Once it's in workflow, I can go back to the requisition and I can approve it there if I'm an approver. I can also go to my list of unapproved requisitions and approve them there, but I'm going to go to an email that was sent to me. Here's the email that was sent to me about this requisition through the workflow system. You can see here I've got information about that particular request. I've got some information about the project, and I've got detailed line items that were in the requisition. I've got those here. If it looks okay to me, now let's go back here and I'll hit approve. This is then going to connect back to the Dynamics GP system and show that the approver approved this particular requisition. Now let's go back to this requisition. We can see that the workflow for this requisition was completed. It's fully approved. We can look at the history of the workflow to see how it transpired. Here you can see the origination and the final approval. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and purchase this. So I'm going to go up back to my requisition, go to actions, and then purchase. This will bring up a dialog box that's going to create purchase orders for me. You can see that they've already been selected, the vendors have been selected, and the currencies have been selected. It's ready to go. So I'm going to generate the purchase orders. This is a process report that shows that two POs have been generated, one each for each of the vendors on the requisition. So let's just take a look at those purchase orders. Here's one of the purchase orders. This is the US dollar purchase order. Let's go back one here. And we can see the Canadian dollar purchase order here. From here, I can just receive the purchase orders as I normally would do. So what you've seen is you've seen the new requisition functionality in Dynamics GP 2016 that allows you to specify a particular project and categories within that project to put together a requisition. I did a simple workflow to see the approval of that requisition, then turn that into purchase orders.